here we go. So this is the pitch pacer to the stage. Focus on it. There's a Trailstar. It's a relatively high pitch. Slight crease in there over this way. But it really is quite difficult to get the knack of the nest, which I'll show you in a minute, and the Trailstar itself. But tight as a drum at the back, which is where I want it. Slight curvature there, but that will change, I reckon, the more I pitch it out. Everything's fairly low to the ground. From this side, obviously, because there's an indent and a flag there. You can see the seam sealant makes a terrible frigging mess, but it's completely watertight. That's the thing to it. Sealed across the tops and down the bottom there. It definitely needs that, because that is so under tension from the pole and the other bits as well. So that's nicely down. You probably can make out my nest that's against the side there. And that's round there. And that's the mouth of the Trailstar. Slightly higher pitch on the front there. I guess it could go down a bit lower, and that will probably pull it a bit more taut. Okay, and that, my friends, is the ook nest inside there. It's really hard to get a perspective, but it's a generous porch with that inside it. It's obviously a lot higher than Paul's nest there. Whatever it is, bear pod, and this. And we'll go inside in a second. Now we're inside the nest, and as you can see, the little struts keep it nicely tight. All the different things on there just look quite nice. Little leverette sort of patches there. The struts or the tensioners are everywhere. I think there's only one or two on the bare pod. But this, it makes use of all the different attachments which pull it out tight. I'm not sure how many you're meant to do and how many things you've got to do. This isn't clearly symmetrical, so I've yet to figure it out properly, because there's a little hook there you can see that probably goes round that one there. And as you can see up there, that's the doodah, the whatnot, the pacer pole. And then you've got this here that loops around up at the top there, up at the top of the Trailstar. There's like a hook sort of thing like that, and that hooks around it. Okay, and then you've got a bungee here that hooks round that. I'm not sure which way that goes round. And then you've got these, very similar to the doodah, the bare pod again, in the sense that it hooks round. I think the slight difference is this is line locked. I'm not sure if the thing's line locked on that one. The Chikara reinforcement at the top there for the whatnot there, and the moving around, you've got the same thing, which is the struts keeping it nice and level, everything nice and tight. You've got the, you call it in America, no-seam midge netting, basically, to you and I, and everything is nicely done with a little bit of Dyneema rope. Sounds daft, it keeps the weight down, doesn't it? And it looks quite palatial in there. And that, my friends, is the nest open. Yeah, it's wrong completely because you've got a ridge that runs along here. The doodah's stuck out here, so I guess it needs to be a bit further out. It's so hard. It's at number 7, should be at number 9 or thereabouts, I think. And it's at number 7. Mind you, it is not completely in the ground, so I've been piss-arsing about. Needs a lot of practice with this. Not necessarily with the nest, but I guess bringing it all together. And that's the sort of like dimension. It's pretty big. It's a lot bigger than the doodah, the Zephyros, as it stands. And I'll show you in a second when I get in it. Right, I'm in it now, and this is inside the nest. As you can see, that's outside the Trailstar, looking out to the top end of the garden. That's my hand. Try and put it in perspective. That's the doodah. That's the nest. Spinning around. Put a little meshing pocket in for me. God, it's massive. I'm not sure exactly which way to lie around on this, but I'm actually laid down at the minute. Oh. As you can see, it's just not pitched right for some reason. It needs to come out ever so slightly more. But it's loads of bloody room. What Paul was saying really, in terms of the room. That's like... It's a fairly warmish day. It wasn't as cold, I don't think, as Paul had it the other day. You can place this nest in a different configuration. I might ask Sean which is the best way. But I think the reflective tab, which is at the back that way, it should be on the back pole, which is how I've put it. A sense of my shoes there. Look at they're a size 9, and look how much space you've got there. Okay, next I'll zip it up for you. Now then, and this is the view from me sitting up, and I am sitting up at the minute. If you can see round. Obviously, like I say, it's not put up properly, but it gives a good perspective of where I am. The Cuben's slightly higher than Paul's, but it's clearly higher than Paul's. That's what I've specified. Chikara floor feels nice, very nice indeed. It's cold on the floor. You can just make out the carbon struts there. Not doing a great deal at the minute, apart from it being, you can clearly see it's all off kilter. Definitely need to practice this, and I'm not having it. And that's outside. It's completely meshed all the way around, whereas the Zephyros, you'd have like about, I think about this much, if you can see, upwards, and then a meshing at the bottom there, which is Cuben fibre here, which is slightly translucent, and then you've got the mesh midge netting, you'll see them, and this is inside the dude, inside the Trailstar. Oh, it's great size. I love it. That's me against it there, if you can look. Put my jacket down. That's my legs splayed out. Okay, and then from there, it's there, all my stuff. There's just loads of room. It's just, oh, it's lovely. And that's on a number 7 So the Trailstar is not its highest there. Clearly, it needs to be at number 10. It's at number, where is it? Number 7. Like I say, these things here, can you see how that sags? Obviously, because I haven't got it right, it doesn't necessarily do it justice. But pull that. Pulls it right up. Okay, and the same for this end here. Pulls it in a bit. Sure, it could be messed about with, I think, just to make it. But the purpose isn't for that at the minute. I'll probably have shown for a few details on how he does his probably. And I'll get back to you on that one. But it deserves another pitch, that's for sure. I'm not doing it today, I've got to go out. Clearly you can see the paste pull not quite in that socket there. So there we go. And in the morning we have a look at if you want to, you can. This is having the Y or the T doodah is you obviously level this up. If you've got a bit of a wind and then you're looking out, that one's still there. That was about that. Lovely. This by far is the best shelter tent setup I've ever had. It knocks the pants off the Zephyros in terms of, you know, compactability, size, weight, everything really. It's just a majorly versatile sort of shelter really. At the minute I'm probably close to getting a tent come shelter. It's a very loose tent, I would say, because it's got an open door there. That door can obviously be hunkered down and strapped down and no air coming in it at all. This can obviously be brought down to a very low height. So, yeah, just one last doodah to film. I've just pulled that down and given you a demonstration of it at its lowest height. So that's when the Trailstar comes right down. It's up here at the minute. It's not its highest, but it come right the way down. And this is so attached to that, so it can still come down even to a lower sort of standard. The struts keep it, sorry, not the struts, but the bungees keep it nice and tight on all ends, and it's still a functional sort of nest inside. It's still patent, and you'll be able to sleep nicely in there with no problems. And that's when it's a fucking mess outside. Again, it's not tight. I've not worked it out properly yet. I'm going to send Sean a couple of text messages and whatnot. Which you can see the idea. Once I get it right, that's the idea. But obviously this will be straight and tight and flush. So, and that's the thing that it comes down. And as you can see, basically it's a matter of to go back up again, if I can do it, is undo, see it. And line locks there. Take it back up. trying to do it with one hand, but you get the idea. That drops it. That drops it there, see it? And then that pulls it across there. Okay, and that's your lot. Okay guys, I'm goosed. So this is the Oookworks minus the Trailstar. Couldn't resist. Just put a bit of a guide line around it just to prop it up. See all the little features: Chikara base, shock loop, dyneema. There's some meshing, no seal, Cuben windbreak, I suppose. Moving over to little features of just plastic sort of runners to stop it from snagging and whatnot. As you can see, stitching is impeccable. This all goes for his Cuben as well. Moving round, these are all line locks. There you go. And these are all bungees, so they're meant to be under tension. As you can see, they're inside there, the ones that keep them upright. Again, I've not done it properly, but it's doing alright. So it's on its own. Moving round again, line locks, loops. Now this, I think, is at the back. This is what I'm going to question with Sean. That's a little reflective panel. I think this is right at the back of the Trailstar. That's how it works. You've got little shocks here and here. This is to, I think, to toggle to pull the doors in. Moving round, one would think that's the back, but it's not, because it's a pyramid shape. Again, bungees, Chikara thing there, the little sewing edge there is actually my little pocket. Moving round again, let's go around to the side. More tensioners, another one there to go that reaches out to the other side of the Trailstar, and you can see inside it's a nice little palatial whatnot, den, shelter, whatever. This is, as I showed you before, this actually line locks round. Little dyneema, part of the rope, two attachment points, got a clasp there that runs down to the top of the Chikara thing there, as well as this line lock thing here. Takes that down, as you can see. If I took that off and then allowed the line lock to take that down, you can see how it goes down. It's a matter of then pulling that. Did you get it? Glad you do. Take it back up again. Can. And then inside the nest. What's this? Now look at the floor now, look at the difference in the floor. That's a little bit different, isn't it? It's completely and utterly flat. Everything's seam sealed and seam taped by Sean. Taped over there, little meshing. You can see me looking out. Look a bit of a knob, but I don't care. Nothing changes, eh? That's a Cuben there. That looks nothing more than a bloody tissue, to be fair. I thought it was very ratty, just think the Chikara is more rattly. And we're good to go. So there you go. Obviously these wide open, you can have it completely rolled back. You've seen that, haven't you? So there's a toggle inside there to roll the things back. I think they've done well with having the T design like Paul's got. I've tried the Zephyros style rolling down. It's only my opinion, but I think this one's slightly better. Just has it more of an expanse on it, and slightly more ultralight. So that's the Oookworks. Whether or not it's better than the Bearpod, I don't know. I've not seen the Bearpod in action, to be honest. My opinion, slightly more polished. £189, whatever it was for the Bearpod. For this Chikara floor, which is more resistant, I guess, to punctures and whatnot and abrasion than Cuben Fibre, even at its highest density, according to Sean. Well, we'll see. Slightly more expensive. Cuben Fibre walls slightly higher, so I paid roughly about £220 for this, in comparison to £190 with the delivery and all that lot for a complete mesh there. So I guess if I would have gone for the complete mesh door, I probably would have looked, what, £10 off? Maybe more actually, thinking about it, because Cuben's quite expensive. I would have got it for probably a similar price. You make your mind up. I guess got problems, one thing and the next. So there you go. There's the Ook nest for the Trailstar. Nice product. Fucking infinitely better than any kind of inner I've found for any kind of tent, to be honest. Beats the pants of any Terra Nova, Illyberg stuff. And it's made by a bloke in Castle Douglas. Unbelievable. Good show, mate. Good show. Like it a lot.